So when someone is a public worker and they have private technology, it disallows class from people communicating and talking to ways online outside of the box that someone has a public job and says that they use private equipment to scare people, saying that they can't get a private equipment because they're afraid of them having a public job, saying that they put it in the same box because sometimes a private equipment could give people a private job, but a public worker with private equipment makes people fear that class can't be related to the distinguishment of employments, related to why is there any type of way that someone would have to be a truck driver in America if someone claims that if I buy me a BlackBerry after I put my lotto tickets before I ate another Tums after I pulled up by the park, because they say that the money that I put there in the chocolate milk drink was like, what if I go to buy chocolate milk from the gas station and buy a lotto ticket from McDonald's? How does that relate to what's behind McDonald's frontal? What is behind the front desk frontal in McDonald's that relates to other thrift stores that I mentioned this morning before I walked by the bank and I put the dollars in the cone, and then I opened one lotto and I went and took the dollars out the cone before the money in the thing reminded me of these green drawers that I bought yesterday, because something about 4th of July on the 5th day related to a peach that was on the card, and something about a 25 and then a 5 that was on the other card, and something about a different symbol, another peach that was for two $10 cards and two $5 cards, because when I asked the guy, the rest of the money that I had was the $7 and I bought a 1-day ticket. And when does that 1-day ticket expire? Because some of the expiring tickets have a lot to do with how fresh that food was, how fresh the area was, and how old it gets to perishable items, because the system tickets relate to the local commute, about how the ecocultural education of people can be related to buildings around here that are not stores, and merchandise that comes from a retailer that's not online or in a box where the government can't access outside a phone or outside of a private warehouse or police, that I can't get my own apartment because they said the banks didn't tell me about something they had going on, because they say that I didn't know about it when they popped up on my phone, because they claim that I'm not aware that I can ask them for things and question, because if they say, where's your money coming from, Social Security, because they say that if there's a bank, it's a building where I could ask them to put my stuff in, but when they locked me in the hospital and took away my storages, how would that relate to how I can't put things in places because I can't get it back in future years, because the arrangement of information is more valuable than the placement of information, of how someone perceives to recollect that information in different values that means the same thing without an online address or a smartphone that arranges the type of technology that comes from one Target does not sell Atari, one eBay does not sell different types of phones, one local gas station does not sell cell phone equipment. So how would someone know that a retailer sells a collection of merchandise that is illegal to the government, because they say it's not sold by an American person who can't get the taxes, because they say that it's not linked to the area of my jurisdiction around how people say that I'm crazy, because they say that they're not aware of something in my behavior that relates to my belief in God and my life sciences, that I mentioned something about someone trying to give people medication that relates to other people in an isolated place where people can't talk about things, because they say that someone is trying to record themselves using others' identity, saying that they have a delusion about what age they are when they say that it's not true.